Hi everyone, welcome to week 7. So I wanted to walk you through this week's stuff so you have a pretty good idea of what to expect. I'm down here now. So let's walk you through this. I'm sure you've already seen what's written here, but yeah, we're starting persuasive speaking this week. So that's all about being convincing. As far as your speech, what that is, you can see it if you scroll down. The performance for your activism persuasive speech, it's really up to you what you want to talk about. I leave it open, but I do talk in here about how I kind of like it to be a speech about something that's human rights, social justice, or earth health. I give you a lot of options as far as what you could pick from here. There's a bunch of different ideas, but if you want to talk about something different, it's totally up to you. You can, but definitely read through these instructions because I have a lot of hints and tips and previous pitfalls that students have fallen into with this speech. It's easy to. Remember that you're in this class to practice. So this is the place where you're going to get good at speaking so that you can speak outside of class where it matters. So this is where you're practicing, right? So first thing to do this week is to reflect on the last week's speeches and everybody else in the class's speeches and your own. And then I want to make sure that you do this week's theory work. This week's theory work is just reading one chapter, but you have a lot to write about that one chapter. So it's the chapter about persuasive speaking, and then you have a lot of reflecting to do. Maybe you already know about ethos, logos, and pathos, maybe from another class. Like if you've had a good English class, then they might have talked about these before. If you know about those, you have a head up. Or a leg up. I think that's the right phrase. So that's good. But if you don't know about those, you'll learn all about them this week. You'll also learn about them when you read through the instructions for this speech. I have some videos in there for you and stuff like that. And then you have a video challenge, and that is giving a sales presentation. So I want to make sure that you guys understand this one. The rules for this game are pick an item from your house. Could be anything. This is a candle. This is a little cat candle of mine. So that's what it actually is. If I was going to give a sales presentation for this, though, I would give it a different name and a different use, and then come up with a 2-minute sales presentation that I would record for this, where I'm going to try and use ethos, pathos, and logos, right? So I'm going to make myself bigger so you can see me a little bit better. So if I was to come up with something for this, it wouldn't be a candle. First, I would come up with a name. The name could be anything, but first I come up with a different use for it. Maybe this is not a candle. Maybe it's a cup for drinking. That's pretty simple. But maybe something much more interesting. Maybe this is a cat grenade, right? You light it here and you throw it at somebody and they turn into a cat. I mean, you can be as ridiculous as you want with this. Just have fun with it. The point is that I want you to try and be convincing. I want you to try and be convincing using ethos, logos, and pathos. So what are those? Well, you're going to have to actually do the work to find out. But my nutshell approach to it, ethos, well, that's your credibility. So you have to establish that initially. So if I was trying to sell this to you, I would start with explaining why you should listen to me at all. So I'm an expert on this, whatever this is. This is a cat grenade. So I'm an expert on the cat grenade. I invented it. I have written lots of books about it. I am an expert, and I could bring in some more experts. Maybe I could quote people who are famous. That's ethos. I could also use logos, which is logic, and I could say, you really need this in your life. Here's statistics that show what happens if you don't have this. Here's a logical argument, right? Being a cat is better than being a human. You eat less food, you have a happier life, you have somebody to take care of you. Maybe that's my logical argument. And then I could use pathos, which is passion. That's using any type of emotion to try and convince you. Not to manipulate you, that's a logical fallacy. But if I try and use my passion to move you, that's different, right? Maybe I use humor, make a joke. Maybe I use passion like a story that really moves you because it's just so emotional. Maybe it's touching, maybe it's sad. Maybe it's all of those things. Maybe it's a story about somebody who was turned into a cat by the cat grenade, and they had a really good life after that. And then there was another person who didn't use one of these, and you know what? Things didn't go quite right for them, and it's really, really sad. That's pathos. I'm manipulating you through emotion. So I want you to do all of those in your commercial with whatever you're going to sell. Come up with something better than I just did. A cat grenade? That's ridiculous. What are you going to come up with? I can't wait to see. So come up with all of that this week. Your video for your commercial, your sales pitch, and your work, your study work. Theory work is due Wednesday. Otherwise, comments are due, of course, on Sunday. If you need any help with anything in particular, please email me. And I'll see you on the discussion boards. Thanks, guys.